We're going to shift now to golf, as of course we just had the Masters over the weekend. A lot's happened since the Masters, but we'll definitely talk about the biggest, my favorite PGA Tour event of the year, the Masters. A lot of people love the Masters. It was finally back in April this year, when you could see the azaleas blooming and you could see all the scenery. It felt like the Masters again. When we saw Hideki Matsuyama become the first male Asian golfer to win a major on the PGA Tour. This is certainly going to be huge for the game of golf, and huge for the business of golf over the next few years, with Matsuyama now a major winner. Brennan, this is huge for the game of golf across the globe, especially.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about first him winning the Masters, but also what this does for the game and what this does for Matsuyama's legacy. And I think it's really one of those things where I think a lot of us expected this out of this kid, and he's really one of those up-and-coming stars. And it was just like, hey, when is he going to get it done? When is he going to win in that big one? When is he going to win a major? And he finally got it done on one of the biggest stages at the Masters this year. So I think it's one of those things where if you follow golf, this is a guy that's been on the radar for a while, is, like I said, been that young up-and-coming star, and we've all been watching him. He's just really been developing, and he's been developing fast too. And so it's really good to see, and good to see for the game of golf to help out. And yeah, like we said, I think this is even going to draw more attention, especially from Japan. And we're talking about a country that routinely produces world-class talent in almost every sport we're talking about. And I think sometimes as a country, they fly under the radar, but this is helping to put them on the map even more, winning the Masters and having the first male Asian superstar win the Masters and having it be from the country of Japan. But like I said, Matsuyama, a great player. I've always enjoyed watching his game and watching him develop. And like I said, I really thought this was going to happen. And so this was not a shock to me. Really excited to see him win. And this could even trigger more wins coming down the line, because he's that type of player where I think really once he gets it going, he starts to play really good in a lot of tournaments. And I think he's also one of those guys that plays really well in majors. You've kind of always seen him playing good in the U.S. Open, playing good in the Masters, playing good in the PGA Championship, and even playing good in the fifth major, TPC Sawgrass, which is one of my favorite tournaments down in Florida in Jacksonville. So yeah, I think this is just something, like I said, if you're a golf fan and you've been having your eye on this kid, you're not shocked at all. But if you're not a golf fan, hey, time to jump on the train and get on the Matsuyama train, because this kid is legit and he's going to be here for years to come. And like I said, it would not shock me if he were to chain together at least one more major this year on top of this.
Yeah, I think the PGA is happy that something like this happened, where it's a new star, and essentially bringing a whole new nation, into the PGA Tour, because this year's Masters was kind of boring. I mean, the fourth round, it was like, the course was so tough this year that a lot of guys struggled, and Jordan Spieth almost kind of made a run, but then, had a few mishaps. Jon Rahm had an awesome fourth round, but he was so far back that he was never really going to get to Matsuyama. But you're right. This is Ichiro Suzuki was not the first Japanese player to play in Major League Baseball, but he brought Japan over to Major League Baseball. I mean, it was a phenomenon when he started, becoming a superstar in Major League Baseball. So I think that's sort of what's going to happen here. Matsuyama, I remember hearing on one of the podcasts I was listening to that Matsuyama had so much media that would follow him around, because it was all this media from Japan. And every major tournament, they'd send 20, the country's top, media outlets would send 20 people to a major, and they wouldn't even want to talk to Tiger Woods or Dustin Johnson or anybody. They just want to find out where Hideki Matsuyama was. So he had so much pressure on him to win that first major. So now that he's won a major, all that pressure's off. He's done it. He's going to have all this fanfare, and he's a really good player. I mean, you mentioned it. He's been in top 10 finishes in the majors, in the bigger tournaments like the Players and some of the other tournaments. And now it looks like he's going to take off. The guy's got such a good ball striker. And once you have that confidence in golf, then you can kind of go on a run in big tournaments and majors. But the business that's going to help with the PGA Tour, this is going to help for the PGA Tour, is going to be astronomical. I mean, there were people this week talking about how, this could be billions of dollars made off of him becoming a superstar. And a lot of golf experts thought that he was going to be one of those types of players anyway. I know Jack Nicklaus even mentioned that this kid Matsuyama is going to be, before this even happened, he mentioned how Matsuyama is going to be one of the top players, young players in the PGA Tour. So it was a long time coming, but he's finally arrived, and he's joined now a whole slew of guys 30 and under on the PGA Tour who are superstars. This is what Tiger Woods has done to the game. All these guys grew up watching Tiger, and now all these young guys who are in great shape and who know how to swing, are these unbelievable golfers that are going to be fighting tooth and nail for majors every single season.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, Japan treats their superstars like rock stars over there. They love them, and they want to know what they're doing 24/7. So they always have some media from Japan following them around no matter where they go. And I'm sure Ichiro really was the one, like you said, the rock star of them all that really had the most media following him around. But you might see Matsuyama start to have a following like that soon. And another guy that I like to throw out there is Yuki Tsunoda in F1. He's really new to F1, rookie in F1, but also from Japan and looking to be a superstar. And so they really just treat their superstars like rock stars over there. But he really got to just kind of coast home on Sunday. Nobody really put too much pressure on him. Xander Schauffele was there for a few holes, and I think it was on the 15th or the 16th, had a triple bogey that kind of just really threw him off. And at one point, Matsuyama had a bogey as well over the last few holes, but his lead was so big, it kind of didn't matter. He could have that mistake and still cruise home to the victory. And I think he kind of knew it at that point. He had done so well over the last 3 rounds that Sunday was kind of like the victory lap where he kind of just had a par out. And that's basically what he did throughout the round. Like I said, Xander Schauffele tried to make a run, and Jordan Spieth tried to make a run. They just didn't have enough. And we talked about Jordan Spieth coming off that Valero Texas Open that he was going to play good, and we were right. He did play good. He just didn't have enough to beat Matsuyama, who ended up taking the title, rightly deserved. So, yeah, we'll have our eyes on Matsuyama going forward, and if you're a viewer out there, you should too.